Hi and welcome. I am trying to learn Polemology. Today, the Siege of Londonderry, and after we've done it, we're going to do lunge training. And if you participate in the lunge training, that is at your own risk. And we're talking here about war. And I just have a dictionary entrance. The Siege of Londonderry was in the year 1689. A 105-day siege in which the Protestant garrison of Londonderry in Northern Ireland held out against the forces of the Roman Catholic James II. Now, the first thing, a siege. A siege means that people are staying there and waiting there and saying you can't come out, or if you come out, we're standing here, you can't go anywhere. So basically, that is the siege. Let's take it to the castle. There's a castle, and the people, the enemies are coming, and they're staying there around the castle and saying you can't go out, you can't get new trading, you can't visit someone, and they're trying to conquer everything. And there's no food going in and out, and we're besieging it basically. That is, we're besieging. Just a little background. Now, and for 105 days was such a siege done, and that was in Northern Ireland, so that is in Europe. And there is now Great Britain, and there is Northern Ireland, and there is Ireland, and the northern part of Ireland was it. At that time it was just Ireland. So it's by the United Kingdom of Northern Ireland. And there was the Protestant people were there in a garrison called Londonderry. And they were heading out for 105 days. Against the forces of the Roman Catholic James II. Okay, it was at least partially religious based. There were the Protestants in a garrison called Londonderry and the besieging army of James II, who was a Catholic. The city was relieved by a naval force, but its successful resistance seriously weakened James's forces and contributed to his final defeat at the Battle of the Boyne. Now, but the Battle of the Boyne was against the English, I think. And they were already Anglican, or what is it called? I forgot it. The Church of England. They were no longer Catholic. Now, James II was Catholic, but he was against the Protestants. But they were Protestantistic. Northern Ireland Protestant. Okay, I get it. They were Protestant, and English were Protestant, and the Northern Ireland were both Protestant. The southern part of Ireland is Catholic, just as some part at the time of Scotland. Okay, James II, he was from Scotland. He was a Scottish king. And I don't know if he was in 1689 still the king, but he was fighting to be on the throne in Scotland. But Scotland was at that time already it was not part of the United Kingdom at that time. Now, I'm trying to get the background exactly. How much I know. I don't know it all exactly. Now, why were we fighting? Because James II wanted to be on the throne. But Scotland was not part of the United Kingdom then, I think. Still. The big Battle of the Boyne was when the decision-making battle in which James lost. And that one here, the siege, was important because James's forces were weakened. Okay, I don't know all the backgrounds exactly. I know broadly, but not exactly enough. That means I cannot say that much to the background. It wouldn't make a lot of sense. That means what we have here as information is just this little dictionary entrance. I'm trying now to prepare a presentation about it, but basically just about these information. My background information are not clear enough on that. Okay, the Siege of Londonderry, and I don't know how it's pronounced, was in the year 1689. And there was, for 105 days, was the garrison Londonderry, which were Protestant in Northern Ireland, besieged by the Roman Catholic army of James II. A naval force then came and relieved the city and ended the siege and helped the people, the Protestant people of Londonderry, and the successful resistance weakened the forces of James II seriously, and it was that contributed to his final defeat at the Battle of the Boyne, which was 1 year later, I think. Okay, I'm going to start the camera. I have a camera that tried to say now these dictionary informations to the Siege of Londonderry. The Siege of Londonderry was in the year 1689, and for 105 days was the Roman Catholic army of James II besieging the garrison Londonderry in Northern Ireland. After 105 days, a naval force relieved the besieged people, and they won basically that siege. And this besieging all contributed to the loss of now James II's Roman Catholic army, then later in the Battle of Boyne. So they were weakened through the besieging, which was not successful, over 105 days in 1689. And that is according to History of Mankind on the page 614 of the book Reader's Digest Library of Modern Knowledge, Part 2, Part 11. And that is written by D.F.C. Black, Harold Blackmore, Neil Grant, Robert Lacey, John O'Brien, Jonathan Sumption, Julie Winch, and Esmond Wright. I'm going to set the camera. And that was the Polemology part, whatever it's called. So that means if you were here for Polemology, you can go directly to the next part of Polemology, where you're going to continue to talk about war. If you stay here and participate in the lunch training, that's what jag använder. We are only in the love. We bring one leg up. And the other one. Pull the leg up, point of the toes down. And now we're going to the side. Legs to the side out, toes are pulling forward and stretching the inner side of the leg. And to the other side. And now go from side to side. And a few lunges. Legs together, and we're going in front. And back. Other leg in front. And back. A few more. And let's do 2 more. And now to the isometric lunge exercises. So first 90-90 lunge, both legs having 90 degrees. Tall up with the back and press against the inside of the knee. And over to the other side. Again 90-90 lunge, tall up with the back and press against the inside of the knee. Alright, up again. Over to the other side again. Now 90-135 degree lunge, tall up with the back. And pull lift the leg up. And up again. Over to the other side. 90-135 degree lunge, tall up with the back and pull lift the leg. And over to the other side again. 90-150 degree lunge, tall up with the back. And now pull at the top of the shin bone. And over to the other side again. 90-150 degree lunge, tall up with the back, and pull at the top of the shin bone. And last exercise, full lunge, tall up with the back, and pull at the top of the shin bone. Over to the other side, full lunge again, tall up with the back, and pull at the top of the shin bone. And that will be exercises, a little stretching. First, the hiker's hilltop stretch, pull the toes in. Foot to the left and pull the toes in. Foot to the right and pull the toes in. In the middle and move the leg from left to right. Other side, heel onto the ground, pull the toes in. Foot to the right, pull the toes in. the left, pull the toes in the middle and move the leg from left to right. And now, legs wide apart, breathe in, go down, and breathe again out. Again, in and up, and out. Breathe in, close the legs, and breathe again out. That was the squat training. I thank you very much, and until next time.